Smallest station in Wiltshire, possibly in the UK. Everybody comes here and does various videos on smallest station and what have you. But the main thing is that it was a station that was made famous by a poem by Sir John Betjeman. And that's what we're here to look at, what we can relate from the poem to the actual station itself. So I think first of all you need to listen to the poem. So I'll get you to listen to the poem now. Dilton Marsh Halt. Was it worth keeping the halt open? We thought as we looked at the sky. Read through the spread of the cedar tree with the evening train gone by. Yes, we said, for in summer the anglers use it, 2 and sometimes 3. Will bring their catches of rods and poles and perches to Westbury home for tea. There isn't a porter, the platform is made of sleepers. The guard of the last train puts out the light, and high over lorries and cattle, the halt unwinking waits through the Wiltshire night. O housewife, safe in the comprehensive churning of the Warminster laundrette. O husband, down at the depot in the car park, the halt is waiting yet. And when the horrible roads are finally done for, and there's no more petrol left in the world to burn, here to the halt from Salisbury and from Bristol, steam trains will return. And now we need to look at each of the elements of that poem, because it's a historical document that shows us exactly what has happened here at Dilton Marsh Station over a period of time, and it's very interesting. The station itself is split into 2 halves, so we've got one half on here, 15-metre platform, and another one further up there, which we'll take a look at. And so we have to establish where the poem was written and what it was. So Dilton Marsh Halt, as it was called, was then just turned to straightforward Dilton Marsh in 1967, and the sign that used to be up here went for about £2,900 at auction. I'll try and show you a picture of that. So it shows the interest in the poem by Sir John Betjeman, who was one of England's most foremost poets, really, and he used the poem to politically make a point on the closures of railways and rail lines, and made a point of obviously getting rid of that. So he used it as a political tool, really. So he's an incredible man when you look at that. So I think it's worthwhile coming here. I think it's worthwhile looking at, and you see what you think and let me know. Well, the station on this side, I don't think is where the poem was written, because there's not much of a view from here, and the first part of the poem indicates a view. So, high over the cedar trees, and the sunset at that time, a summer sunset. So, I get the feeling that we need to go up and have a look at the other side and see what we can see from there. The platforms are now modern in construction. They were changed in the 1980s, oblique 1990s, and that was done for safety. The old ones were made of railway sleepers. They're now no longer made of railway sleepers, but they were a fire risk and they were a hazard through rotting and falling to bits. And the wooden shelters have been replaced with the modern type of railway shelter that can be easily cleaned and maintained and less likely to be vandalised too. But it's just nice to be here and to have a look at it, and I think we need to look at the other side and boil the poem down to a historical document and what it's actually telling us. So this is truly the smallest station, but with the biggest history. Amazing to think that the Poet Laureate came to Dilton Marsh and actually wrote about this Wiltshire village. Well, you can see that we're high up here, and this side of the station has a view over the landscape with Western White Horse in the distance. And all the houses you can see there in the distance is where the cedar tree is, but now surrounded by houses. So I think that it was this side of the platform where the poem was written. It is a request stop here, so you have to signal to the driver for him to actually stop, because there's no platform staff at all. But there is a very helpful help point should you need it at all. You just press and that's it. So being a request stop, you have to place out your hand to stop the train. We're now propped in the station shelter. The mentions that it has within the poem, I brought the poem with me. Summer anglers use it. Well, it's a popular fishing area. There's a lot of freshwater fishing that goes on around here. We've got some mine holes just down from here. And the other way there was sheer water and places like that in Warminster and the River Wylye. People, to my knowledge, don't eat perch much these days. But at the time, in the late 60s when this was written, it would have been quite feasible for people bringing home freshwater fish to eat. A friend of mine, Ian, who's an angler, will look at this and say, "Oh, I'll tell you this," and he'll be spot on because he knows his fish and I don't. But he obviously noticed someone getting off the train with fishing rods, or getting on the train with fishing rods, and hence that's how it happened. There isn't a porter. No, we've gone over that. There's a point now to call people on. The guard of the last train puts out the light. Well, there's trains going through here day and night, quarry trains and all sorts go through here, and goods trains. So that doesn't happen anymore, but the light blinking, I suppose from the distance you would have seen the light blinking on one of the station sides one way or another. High over lorries, well, we saw the road down there, the view up from it that we have at this station, so you could see everything going on beneath you while you were at the station. So that's still the same, really, quite a nice record to have. Housewife in the Warminster laundrette. I think the point what he's trying to make there is that there was a laundrette in Warminster down by the Regal Cinema. I'll put some pictures on of that was demolished. He must have stopped at Warminster, I think, and had a walk around there in the park, and hence that's why he came out with the Warminster laundrette bit. Probably made some sort of thing. And also too, car usage was going up, and he was trying to make a point that you won't be able to always use cars, husband waiting in the car for the washing to be done. And then when the roads are finally done for, I don't think the roads will be finally done for, we're now going into an electric phase, and electric trains will follow as well. So I don't think that will ever happen. Steam trains will return. Well, the Sir Nigel Gresley, I'll try and put a picture up of that, a steam train came through here a couple of weeks ago. So steam trains still are on the line for fun now, for hobbies and everything else. Those of us that can remember steam trains, it used to have a smell of rotten eggs. And it wasn't until I saw one a while back that I was thinking, my gosh, I've forgotten that smell. Rotten eggs everywhere. But Sir John Betjeman really summed this place up, and it's now a historical document for us to look at, and the station. So it's fun to find something like this. A poem written by the Poet Laureate, well, became the Poet Laureate later, that's so evocative of a Wiltshire station. And lots of people put videos on, Smallridge Station, and this station doesn't have much use and all the rest of it. It's quite readily used. I'm not here to condemn it. It is a good little station. It is a credit to the village. and also being modernised to a credit to the railway company. You can't keep things old forever, but the main thing is the station's still here. Betjeman was educated in Wiltshire as well at Marlborough College, so that was a decent education he had. So he must have had fond memories of Wiltshire. And it's not just Wiltshire, I think it's things as a whole. It's nice to have this still survive in the village, and I think it survives because people use it. And may it continue for many a year. So thank you for watching my video. I hope it's been fun. I hope it's been informative. I hope I haven't gone too much over the top on facts. But the main thing is that you enjoy it. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed the video and you consider subscribing. But also join our Facebook group, Adventures in History for All UK. We have great fun on it. A lot of information comes in from different people. We've got experts in the group, and it is really worth having a look at.